vanished, once belonged to the streets. Now I said it, I'm the one you won't see.
What inspired me to create this EP? To be very honest, it's a series of projects that lead up to an ultimate project. So this EP is a step in the journey towards the ultimate project, which is obviously an album. So this project was always bound to happen. Following Labor Ward, it was always bound to happen. So what finally inspired me to do it now? For starters, it was long overdue. It was supposed to drop a while ago, but we eventually got to it. And what inspired me was the need to just get back in the game and get back to releasing music because it had been so long. So yeah, that's your answer.
I make a move.
The hardest song for me to write on this EP had to have been Move, because Move was the last song that we made for the EP, and it came as everything else was done, and we decided, let's add one more song to the project. And so Move was that one song that I had to. It wasn't as emotionally infused as the others. It really came as we have to make one more song. And so Menace gave me the beat, sent me the beat, and I said, okay, this sounds dope, let's go with this. So I think Move would have to be the hardest to have written, not from an emotional point of view, but more from a technical point of view. Maybe Sauce happened, it took so long to create, but also it happened so authentically. There was a number of sessions, but the reason why it's my favorite to have created was the first session. I had gone to Y2K and I said, I have this idea, I have a hook and a verse, and he said, okay, cool, sing it. And I sang the hook, and it's everything he played from 3 seconds in to we had basically run through the whole song of what I had at that time was literally perfect. It was just about what you hear on the current song at the moment, and I was like, this is it. That for me was like the stars aligning. And yeah, I think Sauce was my favorite song to create. So for some songs, I did write to pre-made beats. For example, Move came at the end of everything, but for a lot of them, like Coronation, I had just about the whole song written before I went to Menace and said, hey, I have this idea, let's create something. Bobby also had a similar situation. Bobby kind of had bits of both in it. So really it's either or. I sometimes can write a whole song before I even have the beat, and sometimes I need the beat to guide me. Okay, the truth is, for me, it was never supposed to be my song. For me, it was Menace's song in the beginning, and if I'm not mistaken, his idea was to feature Andy Mez regardless. And so one random day we're working on something else, I don't even remember what, but we're working and he played me that beat, and I had this verse pre-written. Part of it anyway, it wasn't complete, but I had this verse pre-written, and so I started rapping along to the beat that he was playing me, and it fit perfectly. And so the plan was, maybe I thought it was gonna be Menace featuring Andy Mez and M.Y.I, but then he had other plans, and eventually he told me, hey, it's your song now. And so that's how For Me came about. I feel like writing that song though, writing that verse, I was in a very frustrated place artistically. I hadn't dropped anything in a hot minute, so that's why it starts the way it starts. Everybody wants their favorite rapper to drop new music, so I felt like I hadn't dropped anything in a while, and at the same time, like, I had fallen off to some degree. No one was really asking about how's the music going. The question was, are you still doing music? And that triggered me so much. So I was like, nah. So that's what inspired me to write that verse. And then fast forward, the rest is history.
Yeah. Everybody
Everybody want their favorite rapper to drop new music, so it's either they hate me or they used to me, but I don't mind though.